Of course, you know what it is. This is the Quicksilva Show, the #1 show in America. I love to see in real life, and I have a special guest, none other than a great friend. If you're from the city, when I say the city, I'm talking D.C. or the DMV, whatever you want to call it. But this young lady, born and raised in the city, and is now taking her talents worldwide, as I love to say my favorite hashtag, in real life. DJ Domo is here, ladies and gentlemen. Give a virtual round of applause.
I need a pim. You're going to put the air.
We're gonna insert all that. Welcome home.
Thank you. Appreciate
How have you been?
I've been good, man.
You looking good. You glowing.
Thank you. It's good to see you. You looking great as
stop
usual.
It. This
Please.
is not about me. This is all about you right now.
Cut it out, man.
Let me start by giving you your flowers. I'm gonna start by saying, as one DJ to another, what we do for a living, we're blessed. We are literally put in a space where our job is to entertain and motivate people through music and through performance. You do a phenomenal job of it. So just to watch your growth in the DJ space has been commendable. So give you your roses and your flowers.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That means so much coming from you. I have so much love and adoration for you.
Thank you.
And just like, the path that you've laid in front of a lot of us. So
I appreciate that.
Thank you so much.
For somebody who might not know, that they've seen you, of course, across the world, but you're born and raised where?
Glenard, Maryland.
Maryland,
Big Maryland proper.
Grew up in the Go-Go's.
Grew up in the Go-Go's. My dad from uptown. My family still stay in Michigan Park.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Parkdale. Like I'm a PG girl.
Nice.
I'm a Northeast girl. Pretty girl county for sure.
All right, and I gotta ask, who's your favorite Go-Go band?
Come on, man. That's too hard. That's fucked up.
Come on, man.
I give you my top. I don't have a favorite. I give you my top.
No order.
Yeah, no order. I love new impressions.
Before this goes viral.
I love new impressions. 100%. They're unmatched in the game.
Facts.
I think that they've done a lot of things that are innovative in go-go, especially how they partner with artists officially to put records out. I think is one of the smartest things go-go can do.
Facts.
A go-go band could do. I love T.O.B. I think that they definitely probably one of the bands that really represent the generation that came after Bounce Beat. You know what I'm saying? And then TCB just on some OG shit. The Bounce Beat Kings got to pay respect to them. So
absolutely,
that's probably my top 3, and obviously Backyard.
I already say, and then
on some OG. I never listen. G it represents the city in a way that nobody can.
Man,
so
Backyard is my 1 through 3, and I love every band.
Listen, I love every band too. So don't get it twisted. Backyard for sure, and then Black Alley on some other next. They don't sit squarely in go-go in my opinion. They're definitely heavily go-go, but they're different. Black Alley is special. Casey and that entire band. Shout out to Cam. Yeah,
what up, Kay?
Amazing. Shout out to her.
But right now, of course, we're not here to just talk about go-go. I just get that out the way.
I could do that all day.
I know, we'll be here for another half hour. But more important, like I said, you have thrived as a DJ. How was that transition from being from the area, and then what made you move to LA?
I'll say this, I love to DJ. I never planned to be a DJ though, if I'm being honest, professionally. It was a creative outlet for me originally. At a time where I was extraordinarily depressed, if I'm being honest.
Please.
I was it was something that really just kind of helped ease that mentally. Because for me, when I was learning, that's all it's a physical and mental exercise.
Absolutely.
And so it was it occupies you. You could get into it for hours, which is essentially what happened. It was I'm feeling terrible, but I'm gonna focus on this so that I don't.
Music is a healer.
Yeah, so that you don't so you don't sink. And so it kind of just grew authentically in the beginning because I was working with some people who threw events, and when they kind of found out that I was doing it, they was like, oh nah, yeah, you DJing.
Yeah. And
then it just kind of cracked from there because I was playing differently. I don't play like most DJs, and I think I tried to for a while, but I stopped trying to do that.
Lane.
And especially in the beginning, go-go was really influencing how I showed up as a DJ because I wasn't hearing enough of it out in the city in general, and people were really anti. And I know you remember that season.
Come on, do I remember?
Being in clubs.
Years in
where
they banned go-go from downtown clubs.
Completely. And it was frustrating for me because I'm how we in my city and I can't hear go-go when I'm out? That's nuts to me. So that kind of was a lot of how I came up as a DJ, and what really garnered me to love from the city was because I cared about it a lot, and I was vocal about it on top of just the other things. I was vocal about Baltimore club music, vocal about how we need more environments that are embracing, diverse genres.
Facts.
Because people do want that. There's a room for the top 40, and there's a room for a diverse you know what I'm saying, a diverse crowd too. So that was really like how I stepped into DJing and what ultimately like catapulted me forward. I think the biggest thing was BET, and you know, like they were a huge pipeline for me. And so I worked with them for years, and they exposed me on a national level that really showed me a lot about like myself and just about like Black culture, and made me really fall in love in a way. And I think being from this area really primes us differently, because we from a second city, you know, it's a secondary market. They don't necessarily come to us first when you think about opportunities.
You're right.
And seeing how that shows up across, you know, like there's so many secondary markets at this point. And when you talk about like Black music and Black music that's like innately rooted in Black communities, I think about New Orleans Bounce. I think about, you know what I'm saying, obviously Baltimore Jersey Club. I think about hyphy. I think about all of those things. Like we think about Detroit House. Like to me, they're all relative.
Absolutely.
And ultimately, like how I showed up as a DJ led me to working for Spotify. Because that environment was looking for someone that kind of had that perspective in a universal way. And I had that. And I'm kind of jumping around a bit.
You're good.
But it was really on the back of COVID as well. So like when COVID happened and we weren't out and couldn't work,
we were all trying
to figure it out.
The word of COVID was pivot.
Yeah, we were all trying to figure it out. And so before I started DJing full time, I used to work in the federal government, and I thought that I was like, damn, I'm gonna have to go back to the government when COVID hit. I'm gonna have to go find like, you know, just a paper pushing admin job, whatever, it's for stability, because, you know, bills were still due. We a year in, what are we gonna do? And I was contracting with Apple at the time, but it wasn't enough money because it was just a small gig. And so I was like, yo, do y'all have anything? And they was like, nah. So I threw feelers out for a couple of things. None of those things landed. And then I went out for a different job at Spotify, hit a homie, and I was like, yo, he was like, this is not the job for you, but I might have something else. And that ultimately, I landed that gig where I led Black music and culture at Spotify.
Give her another horn.
Thank you. I did that for 2.5 years.
That's super dope.
And it was great. And I had an amazing time. I worked with an amazing team over there, and they gave us a lot of opportunities to execute some great ideas, and I did that with the help of some amazing people, and definitely like where I could through DMV over the fence. You know, one of our first big projects was a series called Sunday Dinner, where I brought together Big G, Pusha T, Rico Nasty, and Ari Lennox.
All household names right now.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, and it was just like one of those things where I was just like, damn, we really doing this. You know, I got New Impressions, one of their first billboards, or maybe their first billboard in the city. Like, it was really important for me to do that. And then we did like another wave of like emerging artists, where we got a bunch of, you know, a lot of artists, their first billboards in the city. And so it was like doing that work was really I loved it. But I also knew I couldn't stay there forever if I wanted to like reach my full potential, because I love music, but I also have a love for things that surround music and connect with music, but are not just specifically in that realm. And so I like to live at an intersection that feels more 2- and 3-dimensional than just one.
I think DJ Domo, you definitely, you just tuned into the show, by the way, like your knowledge of the business, your knowledge of the music is commendable. And shout out to BT, shout out to that girl Natasha, because you know, we've actually been we've shared some stages because of BT. I got my start years ago in BT. I was on 106 in Park for 5 seasons DJing.
I know.
So like I love how we allow certain platforms like BET, like Spotify, to catapult our careers into what we know now as this household name. And it's crazy. A lot of people think you from the West Coast because you've been there for a while.
Yeah.
Right? But like, she's still from the city,
and
you rep the city loud and proud.
I don't play about it because it's like I care about people knowing where I'm from, because I need them to know that there's 1,000 more people who are equally as talented, and that it's a place to pay attention to. You know, in terms of just creative talent. I think when we're talking about people who aren't familiar with DC, aren't from here, they may think of us in a very stereotypical way, the same way we do about other places, you know. And so it's important for us to, you know, the people who have the ability to kind of inform that narrative differently, that we do it. And so because I feel so beholden to the city for how I've been built and raised, and the values I move with is very much rooted in, you know, where I come from. So it's on me. I wouldn't change it for the world. And
I'm glad.
yeah, that's where I'm at right now.
Now, fast forward, of course, as you mentioned, you are a very successful DJ. You DJ on some of the biggest stages, from the President Obama to the VP Harris. Like you've done some amazing things. You've done, major brands. But now, one of the main reasons why we're here today is you have a major announcement. Some people who know you might already know, but there's somebody right now that's tuning in, listening, or watching. They have no idea what's about to happen this weekend. Almost like a drum roll.
I need this hype everywhere I go.
Roll, please.
Quick,
ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is a Quicksilva show exclusive. Brr, 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 brr. All the hands, put the emojis in the comments, all that good stuff. What's happening this weekend?
What's happening this weekend is the Washington Spirit, who is the city's women's professional soccer team,
yes,
of the National Women's Soccer League, is announcing that I am their creative director.
Say it again, ladies and gentlemen.
I am their creative director.
I'm talking stuff. You go ahead. You can brag on the show. I love that. I'm one of the people, like, when you brag, I want to hear that.
I'm here to let people know. I'm here to let people know. So I am Washington Spirit's creative director for the 2024 season.
And what does that mean for somebody who doesn't understand that language?
So a creative director looks different depending on the capacity, the role, the industry. In this one, I'm very much leading their design, so their customer-facing merch design. I'm here to do that and to amplify that. And then I'm also across some of their culture and community programs, and they're robust. They have a lot of them, but I'll be there just infiltrating from a scope of, like, different people in the city that they should know and connect with, or even just music artists, things like that. Like when they're talking about if they're going to have a performance at a game, or if they're going to work with other creators or designers, I'm making those recommendations from the inside to build that bridge so that people understand that they're a DC team. And I think that sometimes when they're out in the world, like, they don't, because they're called Washington Spirit, DC's not in their name
at all.
Sometimes they think they're from
personal.
No, sometimes they think
Washington
they're from
State.
Seattle.
Right. And
I'm like, no, girl, they're from DC.
Right.
So we're making sure that message is clear. And I think that them wanting to work with me, the way it all came about was really authentic and organic. So it just made a lot of sense for me personally. Like, I will always appreciate an opportunity to bring things back home, and this felt like that. And in my journey as far as just a creative, right, because I am more than a DJ. I am a DJ, a designer. I'm very much working at this intersection.
Making your own clothes, posting them on Instagram.
Absolutely.
And so I be following, double tapping.
Thank you. I need that. I appreciate that. This came on the back of leaving Spotify last spring, because it was time for me to go and just start my own things again. Post COVID, I think that we were all kind of taking our time to resituate, but now I feel really comfortable with the direction that I'm going. So I'm still DJing, absolutely, but it will take a back seat to more of the creative direction and design work that I'm doing at this point in time, because that is something that I really care about, and in order to grow it, I have to spend more time in those spaces. So taking this role with Spirit was really important to me, because it's going to allow me to focus on that. And then we launched Dead Dirt as a brand, but in this capacity, it operates as a creative firm.
Nice.
And so, I work with Washington Spirit as well as a few other brands as well.
Dope.
I work with Red Bull doing similar work. I have some design stuff coming with them. So that's low-key and exclusive, because people don't know about that. Something happening next month that I'll make sure you know about.
I get the Quicksilva show exclusive again?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And so, like, this is just the first of many. The objective is to, build a real big business. And so we're on the way. This is just a huge step in terms of just visibility, because all of my clients, it's not necessarily a huge role like this. Sometimes they're project based.
Right.
There may be a project that's a couple of months or something like that, but this one, they wanted me for the full run, because they just knew that they wanted that sort of robust support. So
does that mean DJ Domo is moving back to DC?
It does not.
Come on, y'all. Come on. So you're going to be doing this from LA?
I will be doing this from LA.
Oh, boo. No,
I'm so joking. Sorry. I'm you can throw the tomatoes on the edit.
Put the tomatoes.
You can throw the tomatoes on the edit.
Give me my horns back, Eddie. Wait.
Not you rescinding the horns. I love y'all. But my work is I have to.
I'm not. I'm joking. LA, La La Land. I love it. I
think the thing about LA or any primary market is you gotta find your tier 1 and your tier 2 community. I think sometimes when people move to these places where industry lives, they kind of spend too much time with industry folks and not like establishing, like, you might need to find some excuse my French, you might even find some niggas that's around your way. Like find some people that's like from that place or like tapping in on that level. I think it's sometimes hard to do depending on like what you got going on, but I care about that a lot. Right. And I think that in the past like year or so, especially since leaving a full-time job and running my own business, I've been able to prioritize that. So LA feels like home. Dope. Nothing can replace DC ever. Nothing can replace Maryland. Nothing can replace Virginia. Nothing can replace the DMV area for me ever. But my work is definitely, it takes me more to being in LA and being in New York. So I have to be where my work is. And that's the reality of it all.
Congratulations, man. I always say a win for anybody from the city is a win for us.
Thank you.
So congratulations. Well deserved. I am a little upset because I don't want you to slow down DJing. You're too dope of a DJ. And what we do for a living, I always tell people I'm not a DJ, I'm a performer. Mm-hmm. Now, I can DJ my ass off, but I love performing. So when you hit that stage and you have that pulse of the crowd and that energy, and I call it when you have them in the palm of your hand, when you can play what you want, say what you want. Like I've seen you do that before, and I don't want you to slow that down. That's just selfish of me, but
I appreciate that.
Figure out a way to do both.
I appreciate that. I do. I appreciate that. I think it will never be something I don't do. Mm-hmm. I will always look for opportunities to do it in a space that makes sense for me. Mm-hmm. And I think that just all it will mean is just being a little bit more selective. Mm-hmm. But I think when you're focused on growing something that you need to build more skills around, you have to give that more percentage of your time. And so like right now I'm kind of treating my schedule and the things that I'm prioritizing like my own portfolio. So I might be spending 60% of my time doing creative direction and design work and building those skills. And then I may spend 20% with DJing and 20%, doing other things that look like, whatever my personal family, whatever that looks like. And even that still feels a little imbalanced, child. Mm-hmm. But
it will never be balanced. People always ask, how do you balance your personal and your business? I don't. I make it look that way on TV, but trust me, I don't.
Yeah. I think it's just like there are periods of things having higher priorities at certain times and then lower at other times. Mm-hmm. And I think depending on just how you're able to manage that with whatever your community or family looks like, you figure it out. I was doing a really bad job of it up until like the last 10 months. But right now I feel like I'm in a better place than I have been.
There's no manual. I tell people, do what works for you.
It's hard.
Yeah, it is.
It's hard to maintain
but if it was easy, everybody would be successfully doing it.
Absolutely.
So I'm giving you a little early morning vitamin of the day. But once again, man, for anybody who just tuned into the Quicksilva Show and they missed the announcement as of now, is it already now?
It's now.
As of now, moving forward, DJ Domo is what again?
I am Washington Spirit's creative director and designer.
Do they call you DJ Domo? What do they call you?
It's Domo, honestly. It's just
Domo,
Domo Wells. Mm-hmm. And that's just because I will, like I say, always DJ, but it's not the only thing that I do. Mm-hmm. And so at this point, I have to be intentional about even that presentation so that people understand that, I'm multifaceted. Mm-hmm. And so, I've dropped the DJ from the title. It's just my name. It's just Domo Wells. That's my God-given, Dominique for long, but Domo for normal for short. Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to it. I think this is going to be a great opportunity to represent my area, in a fun way and just stretch my wings a little bit in the direction that I'm trying to go. Because the objective is to be, like you said, like a household name designer, creative director.
You will be speaking to existence.
Thank you. That's making, impactful work that feels authentic. And that's like my only goal at this point,
I'm proud of you, man. I told you when we first started, but as we wrap it up, I'm just giving you your flowers again. I love to see people from the area that's flourishing in any business, whether it's DJing, whether it's fashion, whether it's marketing. When I see people winning, I think that's such a big thing because you always hear what I always say, the most BS ever. You can't make it out of the city or the city don't support. And I'm like, that's bull. Like, you're looking at the guys 3 decades in of getting nothing but love and support. Does the hate come with it? That's a part of the territory. And this is my last thing I ended with. I tell people all the time, if you're not ready for the hate, the jealousy, the envy, the rumors, all the BS that comes with it, it's simple. Just stay regular and never become successful. No one talks about that. Like when you're regular, nobody, and I'm not saying like trying to sound, braggadocious, but when you're a regular and you're doing like just the basic bare minimum, nobody hates on you. It's not until Domo decides, I want to excel in a different field. I'm warning you now that you're in a different field, them same people that might have supported you as a DJ, when they see that you're now flourishing
I'm not gonna
in this
lie.
field, Here comes. Well, she ain't ready for that.
I'm not.
She don't know what she doing.
We might need some more.
How she get this gig?
We might need some more time for this part because I think like
it comes with it. I'm warning you.
No. I mean, listen. I think because it's been almost 10 years for me in music, and I think that I never thought that I would be doing anything that would cause that type of energy to come my way, but I have experienced it, and I have to check myself sometimes to not let it affect me, but then also kind of empathize with the person that's spewing it because it says more about them than me. And so I try not to waste any more energy or time on things like that than I have to, because I also just don't. And certain things that I can't subscribe to as someone that has hustled so much to get where I have to go. And I think that people who do subscribe to those narratives of like you think if someone is in your way or somebody's taking your opportunity or you're gatekeeping, and it's not that gatekeeping doesn't exist because it does, but I think the way in which it exists is specific, and a lot of people tend to say that that's what's happening when really you're not actually like doing the work. Facts. At all. And it's not even about working hard enough. You're not doing the work. Like you don't know your environment well enough to navigate it past the point that you're in.
Beyond us at this point.
And so that's like a whole other conversation. That's like
we'll bring you back part 2 of this.
Right, part 2 of that. Part 2 of that. But right now we're going up for Washington Spirit. They have a game on Saturday, their first home game in Washington DC.
You'll be there at the game?
I'm going to be there at the game.
You walking on the fair? You doing the presidential wave?
No, child, I'm not doing all that. But I will be on the premises, and the all of the pieces that I've designed for this opening day will be available in stadium that day. We did a cute little cherry blossom collection because the people love cherry blossoms, and some updates to their core collection that feels very reminiscent of DC. And that will continue throughout the rest of their season, and we'll have multiple drops of that. And so like we're just excited because I don't think a lot of people are aware that we have a women's team. I think that DC United, the men's team, they've done a great job of like bringing that awareness to the city. And so now part of what I want to be doing is making sure that I'm doing that as well, like bringing some attention to the fact that like women's sports are up right now, first of all.
Women's basketball is taking over the face of basketball,
period.
College basketball,
period. And so like I think in general women we're seeing just more opportunities across, what I'm saying, and I'm really excited to see what Washington Spirit does, considering like every city doesn't have a women's soccer team, and so it's a privilege to have them. And they're really doing the work to tap in with the city. And so we just want to make sure that they're getting the support that they deserve.
Now, for anybody who can't make it to the game this Saturday, but I still want to support Domo. I want to buy some of her merchandise. I want the sweatshirt with the flowers and the pretty stuff on the side.
Yes.
How can I purchase that? Is there website information?
It will be online. So right now, I think the plan is that it will be in stadium on Saturday, and then the following week it will be online. And so I'll keep you posted on that. And we will be doing like a post this week as well to amplify the moment.
Dope.
And so there will be some follow-ups for people to stay tapped in. And obviously like the season is through, I want to say, like the end of the year. So there's a lot of opportunities to come to the games. And I just encourage people to pull up. It's going to be a good time.
And when you go there, tell them Domo sent you. That way she can get a little kickback. You hear me? You know what it is. Of course, the Quicksilva Show, our job is to keep you entertained, but most importantly, informed. And when I have family that's doing amazing things, it's my job and my duty and my honor to spotlight people like yourself. So Domo, once again, on behalf of the Quicksilva Show, kudos. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
And anytime you got any other major announcements, send me the text. You ain't gotta go through all the management, all of this.
Okay.
Hit me direct. Hey, bro.
I did.
Bro, I'm in town, bro.
I was like, let me see if I can track my brother down.
She got real political. She's like, quick, if I need to send an email to your producer and then my HR and PR team, I know
that's
that.
A respect thing.
I have all that.
I know.
But for you,
that's a respect thing.
Send me the text.
I got you. I respect that. You are a man of many skills and so many things that you manage and do. And so I understand that to get on this show, there is a system involved.
It's definitely a process.
There's a process.
People, by the way, most people can't just text me and get on the show, by the way. So let me go ahead. I want people like, hey, quick, so is this that easy? I send you a text and send my music. I'm on the edit. No. Simmer down. DJ Domo guy, she got the skip the line pass.
I appreciate that. That honestly, like having that level of respect from you, it means a lot to me. It really does, because I know that everybody doesn't get that.
Definitely don't.
So
most people got to send the label, then the artist got to hit the PR and all that. But once again, if somebody's not following, where can they follow you on all social and just support your movement? Absolutely.
My Insta is Domo, so DOMO Wells, WELLS, and that's across Pretty much everything. And I share everything from that channel on Insta. So, yeah, definitely want to be tapped in. Would love to be tapped in.
All right, well, congratulations once again. You know how we get down every day. Quicksilva Show, DTLR Radio, gang, gang, gang.